So this is our neighbours. They've got tons of donkeys and goats. Look at the mini donkeys. Look at that one on top of the thing. I got kicked by one of those donkeys as a little kid. Probably not that one. That's probably, that donkey's long dead now. And there's all goats and, oh no, they're gone. They were actually gone. Well, there's no more goats. See, these are the things you find out when you haven't been home for 15 years. I mean, I've been home, but not for this long. Not enough to remember all this stuff. Visits are only ever like 1 day maximum. And now, after touring for about 9 years of going to so many different countries, and now being told that, you know, travel doesn't exist and neither does live performance, the two things that I do, I guess I'm back home. I moved away from the farm when I was 18 years old because I didn't like it very much. Farm life wasn't really for me. It's too much work. And now I've come back to hang out with the family, I guess, and after all these years. So many old cars. Look at all the washing machines. He goes through washing machines like anything because he only buys second. Look, and all these four-wheel motorbikes. Why does he have these? That's Rosie. Rosie! Okay, so this is our front paddock, which now obviously has sheep and alpacas on it, which we had growing up as well. These are now my brother's sheep, and my niece has named them all. I don't remember all their names, but they're very friendly. But this driveway, I walked up a lot as a kid because it goes to the school bus, and I walked down this driveway every single weekday, and haven't been down it for many years now, because now, after all these years, it's been 9 years of just traveling the world, doing storytelling shows, and I'm hardly ever home. I haven't been back on the farm for years and years. I moved to Melbourne when I was 19 years old, and then for the last 9 years after that, I toured the world. And from traveling the world, I've got a lot of money. Like not real money, not money. I've got a lot of change. And it's change from all around the world, like a Korean $1 million note, and euros and Cambodian money and Japanese money, and all this change that I've never been able to throw away, because you can't throw away money. And it's all in this Ziploc bag, just a bunch of change. And I didn't know this, but at money exchange places, you can't change. They don't let you, which is sort of it's a metaphor for life. You can't change. And so I didn't know what to do with all this money, and I came back to the farm maybe 5 years ago, and I had this Ziploc bag of money, and I don't get to come home very much. And I don't see my nieces and nephews, of which I've got 7, and I don't see them for birthdays or Christmases. I'm always out traveling. And I got this money, and I buried it on this farm. And I just buried it under a tree, and I said to all my nieces and nephews, I've buried some treasure on Grandma and Grandpa's farm. Whoever of you finds the treasure, I will pay for you to go to the countries where the treasure is from when you turn 21. Now, I had years to play with this, for them to find this treasure, and every birthday I call them up and I give them an individual hint as to where the treasure might be. And every Christmas I give them all a hint as to where the treasure might be. If the individual hints, they get to share that with their cousins if they want to, or keep it to themselves as a personal hint for them. And Christmas 5 years ago, I was in Savannah, Georgia. And I was in Savannah, and I called them up for Christmas and I gave them the hint. And the hints have been so far, they've been elbow, because it's on the elbow of the farm. It's been paddock, because it's near the paddock. It's been water, because it's near the water pipes there. And I've given them all these hints. And this Christmas, I gave them the hint bark, because it's buried under a tree. Trees have bark. That's what I've got. And I gave him the hint bark, and my mum called me up a couple of days later, and she said, you got to give them another hint. And I said, why? Oh, no, they know bark. Bark is a tree. It's bark. It's bark. And she said, no, you don't understand. They've dug up Jack. And my 2 nephews had dug up my dead childhood pet, Jack, thinking I'd buried the treasure in my dead dog's grave. And really it's just here. It's just here under this tree which I rode my motorbike into, and they still haven't fucking found it. So there you go.